Alright, welcome back to Grill Fight. This is a new series we're going to try on Grill Fight that I just came up with called Will It, Grill It. We all know that pellet grills are great for cooking meat. We've tried our Z-Grill versus our Traeger. We've done a lot of those kind of combination types of videos, but we're going to try something a little bit different. I know it's been a while. I wanted to come up with a new idea, and this is just something I hadn't quite seen enough of yet, so I thought let's give it a shot. The premise of this is pretty simple. We're going to take ideas that you think probably shouldn't be grilled, and we're gonna try it. The dumber the idea, the more I like it. So we're gonna be trying to grill all kinds of things, and we are gonna start out this week with some dessert. Who doesn't love dessert? It's part of eating, it's part of grills, part of meeting around the table. Everybody loves it. We're looking forward to starting that, and we're gonna try this week with brownies. So we're gonna ask ourselves, will it grill? We're gonna follow the box recipe and just try it on our grill. If that works, it's great. If it's not, we're gonna try to find ways to fix it and make it even better. So cross your fingers, and we're gonna find out, will it grill? All right, we're here. We're back asking today's question, and one I didn't honestly expect to even be asking, but will it grill it? Brownies on a pellet grill. This just feels like a bad idea. So naturally, we're gonna do it. So here's why brownies I think are actually interesting for this. Brownies were basically invented on accident. One of the earliest stories is that someone forgot about baking powder while making a chocolate cake, and instead of a nice fluffy cake, they got this dense, fudgy slab of chocolate. There's also some pretty famous origin tied to the Palmer House Hotel in the 1890s, whose goal was to make a dessert that was both rich and portable and didn't fall apart like cake. And that matters because brownies don't really rely on air to rise the way that cakes do, and so they're held together by fat, sugar, and chocolate. This actually makes them way more forgiving and perfect first test subject on a pellet grill. So we are using a box mix, of course, on purpose. That's not because we're lazy. Okay, maybe we're a little lazy, but it's because brownies are standardized that way. The same ratios, the same expectations. If this works, it's going to be repeatable. And if it fails, I didn't waste all afternoon making brownies. So let's get to it and see how it turns out. I ended up using a cast iron pan, which I re-seasoned to make sure that everything worked well. Put them on the grill, just like the back of the box said to, 350 for 38 minutes. And much to my surprise, they actually cooked way better than I expected. You're going to see here in just a second, after I had to wait for these brownies, which of course with brownies is always the hardest part, that they cooked well. They came out of the pan well, they set well, they cut well, and they tasted like boxed brownies. Overall, there was some people who said that they could taste some light smoky aftertaste, which makes some sense because smoke likes to attach to fats, and things like that. And so the butter in there, all the different oil that we use, those will actually pick up a lot of smoke. As you can see, it turned out pretty well. The crumb turned out pretty well. The cook turned out pretty well. Overall, nobody hated it. And that alone feels like a win. But here's the thing. Working by itself is not the goal. Our goal is, can we make it better? And so we're going to make it all by ourselves. So we're upgrading this box mix. Instead of oil, we're going to use melted butter, mostly because butter makes everything better. Instead of water, we're going to use milk. We're going to add a few chocolate chips, and then we're going to add a little bit of chocolate and caramel syrup on the top, just for a little extra fat and sweetness. So basically, we're stacking the deck in terms of flavor and moisture and richness, and this time we're going to tint it with a little bit of foil so that not so much smoke gets through. We did leave it a little loose so some could. Same grill, same setup, but this batter was so much richer. You can see the difference in the two of these. Almost everybody who tasted this liked the second brownie better, said it just tasted better. But overall, I'm impressed. I know the box told me on both grills that you'd be able to bake on it, and it sure did. All right, so verdict time. Brownies on a pellet grill. Who would have thought it? I should not be saying that this worked, but I do know that the boxes for both grills said that there were like 7 different things they could do, and one of those things was baking. And sure enough, you can bake on a pellet grill. It didn't even fail. Both worked really well. Honestly, that's the fun of this series, though, right? Is trying stuff that probably shouldn't work and figuring out how we can make it better. If you liked this experiment, please take just a minute, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. It helps me know. And also, take one quick second and drop a comment about what you'd like to see us try to grill next. I have lots of ideas. I've used AI to create even more ideas, but I'd like to hear what you guys would like to see. So let us know. We'll talk to you next time on Will It Grill It.